Okay, so we've got black bean and vegetable nachos for you next. So I've got a pot of water on the heater ready to start cooking the beans. These have been soaked overnight. Strain those off. In this sort of dish you don't have to use black beans, you can use the traditional kidney beans, you can use lima beans, cannellini beans, anything to your tasting or whatever you have in your cupboard at home. I will give a tiny pinch of baking soda in there just to help the cooking process, and it also helps with the digestion. And there, so we'll give a little pinch. And meanwhile I'll turn another pot onto the heat. I'll pop a lid on that one. So we'll start preparing our vegetables to go with the beans. A little grapeseed oil. We'll start off with some celery. I'll just chop into cubes. I've got about half a carrot. Just chop in the same manner. Take a pinch of asphodel. And into the pot with those. I've got a couple of chilies. I'm going to use one in here and one in some guacamole. If you're not liking the heat so much, remove the seeds. Whenever you are using chili for other people, it's best not to make it too spicy, even if you're quite keen on it. But you don't want it to be unedible for people as well. And a couple of capsicum. Those in. At this point I've got a teaspoon of cumin seeds, teaspoon of coriander seeds. Just lightly grind those. They don't need to be ground down to a powder, just roughly ground. Got about half a teaspoon of chili powder, and I'll put about 2 to 3 teaspoons of paprika. And some tomatoes, remove the core. I'm going to save 1 tomato for the guacamole, so I'll just use 3 with the veggies. So it's a good idea just to let those spices cook out for a couple of minutes before we add the tomatoes in. And a little pumpkin. Don't want too big a pieces here, otherwise it's going to take quite a while to cook. Lovely smell coming there. So I'm just going to give that a little touch of water and cover that with a lid and just let it steam down. We don't want to add too much liquid because when you have nachos, obviously you don't want it to be too saucy, otherwise all the corn chips are going to go soggy. So in the meantime, we'll get going with some guacamole. I'll start off with the juice of 1 lemon. Whenever you're doing anything with avocado, always use a bit of lemon juice to hold the colour of it. If you don't put the lemon juice in, then the avocado will go brown fairly quickly and it's not so appealing to look at, really. So I'll just remove the stone. Easy way to remove the stone is just to tap the stone with the heel of the knife, twist it, and it should just pop out. They say avocado is excellent for pregnant women. And funnily enough, avocado has a similar shape to a pregnant woman. It has a little round miniature baby inside, and it takes exactly 9 months for an avocado to be ready. So maybe it's just a coincidence, who knows. remove it a little. Okay, so we'll just chop this up. And pop it into our bowl. Let's give it a little mix in the lemon juice first. Just check on our vegetables, coming along nicely. Beans also just coming up to the boil, so you can see a nice layer of froth that we want to remove. Always make sure you're removing this froth. Basically when you boil anything, particularly legumes and various beans, pulses, but also even just plain vegetables will often have a little bit of it coming up. It's just the scum and impurities. And you want it out of the food, not boiled down and cooked into the food. Lid back on that, we'll turn that one down. Also turn those vegetables down to a slightly lower heat. Meantime, back to our avocado, just mash that gently with a fork. When you're making guacamole, it doesn't need to be mashed perfect. It's quite nice to have the sort of rustic chunks of avocado. Little seasoning. And I'll throw just half a chili in there. Pop our tomato in. And so a little chopped parsley in. If you have coriander, you can also use coriander. It goes quite nice with the Mexican style guacamole. I'll just use plain parsley today. That in also. Let's give that a bit of a mix around. Okay. Veggies are looking good. Okay, so our beans are probably going to take around another 20 to 30 minutes to cook through. Veggies, they'll probably only need about 10 more minutes, but they can be on a low heat. They'll be fine for the same amount of time as the beans. So we'll come back to these in just a moment. Okay, so our beans are cooked through now, so I'm going to remove these off the heat and strain them into the sink. I can pop those in with our vegetables now. Just give those a stir through. So you can see that pumpkin's broken down nicely. And the mixture's good because it's not too runny. If it is too saucy, just cook it down for a little bit. So like I was saying with the nachos, you don't want it too saucy, otherwise it's difficult to scoop it up on the chips. So just give that a little season. I'm also going to add the juice of 1 lemon. to the guacamole I didn't add before, which I meant to. A little flaxseed oil. Flaxseed's really good for the omega-3 oils. Lastly, a little chopped parsley into here. And same as the guacamole, if you do have fresh coriander, that'll also go really nicely in here. And looks like we're ready to go. Let's have a quick taste of that one. It's good. Okay. So got a plate ready for serving this all together on. So just put a little guacamole into one bowl there in the front. Now we're going to put some of our tasty vegetable bean mixture in another bowl. This is just one serving idea too. You can always put the corn chips on the bottom of the plate, put the mixture on the top, guacamole on top of that, and some corn chips. When choosing your corn chips, always read the ingredients first. The only ingredients that should be in there is corn and vegetable oil. Sometimes a little salt if you're taking salted chips, but try not to take the ones with too much of the artificial flavours. The more natural they are, the better they're going to be for you. So there we go, nice, tasty, healthy nacho dish, black beans, pumpkin and some fresh guacamole. Enjoy.